so good and the AI I've built is so good, they don't need the human support anymore, because these high ticket programs, people buy it and then they don't use it. I have 300 people in my program and 10 turn up to a live call.
That paid 10 smokes for it?
And on the sales call, I want one-to-one with Ed. What can I get? And I'm like, just come on the call. It's one-to-one. Like, we've got, and you know, then they don't come up and use the support. And I just thought, this is kind of dumb, because what they want is instant support that they can fit around their life when they want it. So I built these AI bots, and we just saw the support going dropping down, basically. But then people were using it, right? And I was like, it's not as good as the human, but they're actually moving quicker. So they're taking action to grow their channel and business, which is, I think, is actually better than stopping and slowing down and trying to get a human involved. Because it's not 24/7 instant support. Like, we were very quick in our chat support room. Like, I'd be on it all the time, right? But I think people just want momentum and they want to keep moving. And they're actually better off just taking actions and making mistakes than they are slowing down, trying to get everything perfect. So I looked at the data, like the support is tanking, the AI is getting better, less people are turning up to the calls, and we're still getting results, if not better. I was like, the future feels like, to me, if I can build and every time I made the course better, we got less support because people didn't need to ask so many questions. So I've just been rebuilding, and now I'm building this software platform that basically walks them through every step of the video process and gives them feedback. And I use it for myself. That's how I know it's good.
The software platform, meaning it's like still video training, and then there's an LLM they can use?
There's loads of chatbots in it. So let's say, for example, I've built the thing I sell people is a system. So it's like how to come up with the idea, how to position the channel, how to be unique. And then when you make a video, there's a certain process you go through. So the software is steps. It's like, we push a button, start a project.
Oh, so there's different chatbots for different sections of the video ideation
right? So it's
process.
like start your project, title, thumbnail. They design them, they throw them into my bot. It gives them the feedback on the thumbnail and title. Now, this is something I use all the time. It's very good. And then they go, right, let's plan the video. There's one page of the planner where they just follow a few processes. They type into it, then they press right next. It takes them to a slightly deeper version of the planner that's got AI bots that help them ideate. And then they go, right, let's write it. Takes them to another page of the planner, carries the plan over, and now they can write, but they can copy and paste bits of the script into another AI bot, which gives them feedback on that section. And then I'm building it so it connects to their channel. So when they post the video, it's going to take the data and it's going to tell them why the video flopped or why it performed. And it's going to say, do this in your next video. So I'm basically trying to work out how my brain works at every step of the funnel, building content, and then a system that is step by step, and then little bots that do very specific tasks that think like me to give them feedback.
It's smart to break apart the processes because you can't do it all at once. You need to small chunk it. The hardest thing that I have, though, is getting it to actually write the script so it sounds like something you'd say.
You don't want to get them to write the script. But AI is not. Everyone thinks that AI is like good at writing scripts, but it sucks. It's brought the baseline up for beginners from awful to below average, right? So the beginners who don't know any better going, this is amazing. Look at the script. And I read it. Oh, this is awful.
Right.
You ain't getting anywhere with this. Use these random words. And it doesn't make it sound like you can. Everyone's like, I made mine sound like me. I built this huge thing. And I'm like, I can spot the 15 different AI words.
Even if you paste 15 scripts that you wrote that are perfect, it still doesn't do it right.
But we don't want to use it for that. So AI is amazing at taking all the crap in your head, all the 1,000 ideas you're trying to articulate at once, and then simplifying it into a bullet point list.
Okay.
So let's say I want to do a video called How to Get to 1 Million a Year on YouTube. First thing I do is write down, like, what do I think I want to talk about? And there's like, I'll just quickly, 4 bullet points. That's step 1 of the planning phase. I've got to get some of this information out of my head, because otherwise, you know, when you've got 1,000 files on your desktop on your computer, it's like crazy overwhelming. You have people have those messy desktops. That's like your brain trying to come up with an idea for a video. It's too much swirling around. You basically
too many tabs
need 4
open.
files. Yeah, you got too many tabs open. So I have my 4 or 5 ideas down, and then what I do is I hit dictate on my keyboard, and I just talk out my idea. So I'll start flowing, and I'll be presenting out loud, going all sorts of tangents. and I'll just talk what I think I want to talk about. That then naturally sparks more ideas. So 4 things I might want to talk about could become 8. And then I've got this like absolute pile of words that is awful. I throw that into AI and say, can you organize this? I was like, I want it organized in a way that is optimal for cognitive load, that won't overwhelm people. And I want you to just bullet point every step I've spoken about so it's easy to read. That spits that out. Now we've moved one step down the planning process again. And then what I do with that is I start to structure it into a specific structure for education, which keeps people hooked and doesn't overwhelm them. I'm doing more notes. Then what I do is I voice record myself presenting the script from that more detailed notes. That's the first draft script that I used to type. I give that to AI, tell it to tidy it up, and now we have the final sort of thing, which I then edit very heavily myself. So it sounds like a lot of work, but before you were doing all of this in your head, now it's just a case of basically talking, getting AI to organize, talking, getting AI to organize, and then you write it. But if you get an AI script, I'm editing it 80, 90%.
I know. It's almost useless.
And I have so many clients, they're like, oh, yeah, the AI is great. And I'm like, no, stop using it for that, please. It's so lazy.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because the process that I've kind of come up with a hack through myself, it's kind of similar. Like I found, but the beautiful thing is you can just talk. So say you have a script and you talk and you're reading it the way it is. Oh, no, I don't like the way this sounds. You can just speak very naturally and it just fixes it like that. Another thing I use is like, I'll have a list of 15 things. It's like just to try to come up with other ideas. Like, are there any published studies that relate even tangentially to this? Are there interesting psychological biases that could relate to this? And then it can come up with ideas and just research. Like say you have a boring idea, like how much to tip the valet in big cities? But then you run it through, hey, did you know that in Monaco, there's this weird thing that goes, you'd never know that, but it'd be interesting to throw in. That's one of the things that I find that it's good at and save me time bringing up things I'd never know.
Yeah, it's great at research, great at sparking ideas, but it's a turbo. So if you put a turbo on a big engine, you go very fast. So I know what I'm doing. I can spot all the mistakes AI makes. It speeds me up at everything. If you put a turbo on a small engine, it's still slow. So the beginners are basically thinking that they've got all the power of a pro because it sounds so much better, but most of the time it's just slop.
Yeah, it's slop.
So the tool you're building is planning, ideation, and kind of tidying up and tailoring.
I'm basically trying to replace myself with a bit of software.
Okay.
And I'm trying to work out how I think, and then I'm trying to turn that into a system, which is a course, which is very step by step, basically like putting Lego bricks together.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to train AI to think like me at very specific tasks within that process.
So the thing the person gets is like the course and then the kind of...
It's an AI with a course rather than a course with an AI.
Do you think that's where the kind of info industry is heading?
Can't not. I wanted to build this a year ago, but I couldn't code. Now I can because of AI, right?
So can we talk about that?
So
how have you built this?
Lovable. Now the professionals will be like, oh, it's going to be slop, it doesn't work, which is the same thing, right? I'm a small engine and I've just strapped a turbo on it because I don't know anything about coding. However, I do know about simplification and user experience and stuff like that, which means I can produce a bit of it, right? But yeah, some of my clients are coders and they're like, this is the problem you're going to have, so we'll fix it. But in terms of scaling, it's not ready to scale, which is fine. It doesn't need to scale. I'm just getting all my current clients to test it. But yeah, you can build it with AI and it's fun. I just sit there drawing out all sorts of things and then I get my clients to use it and like, tell me what you think. You say, well, build this, change that. This isn't very useful. And then I'm trying to use it for myself. I figure if I can...
That's the litmus test.
If I can make something so good, I stop automatically going to just Google Docs. And I'm like, if this thing goes down, I feel agitated. That's when I know that I've made something good. And there are certain features where it is, and there's certain features where it's not. So the plan is to create just a step-by-step bit of system software. I don't know what I need to call it, that has feedback built in.
What LLM are you using right now?
I use multiple ones depending on the task. So certain things I use Gemini, certain things I use Claude, certain things I use GPT.
Using Claude for most of the copywriting?
No, I don't think this is good. Everyone thinks this is good.
Gemini? Use Gemini?
No, I use OpenAI for the copy.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's the one that I don't even ping off of.
I found that Claude is the most AI sounding AI out of all of them. I managed to get the stuff I do with my OpenAI one to sound
Huh.
as closest to me and human as possible. So sometimes the one I've been working on, I don't have to edit that much now, but it swings around. In like some days,
It's from day to day. I know what you mean. And it's almost like they get momentum and they'll be hot for like an hour and then they just burn out and they're terrible.
yeah. So I don't know if it's they're changing stuff, but I noticed the other day. I was chatting to it and I was like, have you been drinking or something?
Yeah.
What are these answers? You
It
remind me of
feels like
GPT
that.
4.0, you big loser.
You start talking trash to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I expect from you.
When I've done that, sometimes I've even asked, like, what is going on? You're very clear. And a lot of times I have all these hotkey things, like with all these, you can just hit control this and it puts in the thing. And usually it'll be like, well, you've given me so many instructions. There's just this conflicting thing. So now I have a prompt that says completely reset the tone, start from scratch. And that usually helps, but I still have a little bit of weird variation.
Yeah. And you just have to be on the lookout for that. That's the thing. If you're lazy, AI is awful because you have to check everything.
Right. And
you have to question it. You have to use your brain. It's a very different sort of way of doing business and life. Because I have like 2 laptops open at the same time, like 2 different bots, and I'm chatting to them. They're giving each other feedback. I'm then reading that. I spend most of my day talking to robots. But going back to your question, yeah, in terms of like selling information, anyone who's building a course right now is just, and they're not thinking about this, is just light years behind. Because if you, at the end of the day, you sell a course to get someone a specific result, and all they have to really do is follow steps. So if you create a software that they literally follow the steps, because usually courses, they're like a Google Doc here and then something else here. I just want a platform where everything's in one.
Yeah.
And then you can build in the AI to give them help, which is only going to get better. So that's one of the reasons why I thought shut down the thing that's making all the money, because I just thought, well, this isn't the future. And actually it's capped. At the very best, it could do 10 million a year. It's never going to do 20 or 30. It could. But what's the future? And I felt like I was living in the past. I was like, I've built something amazing that in 5 years' time, I think it's going to be totally irrelevant. So why not just start working on the thing now?
You did shut it down quite early. You probably still have a few more years you can make a little dough, but you said you weren't enjoying it. So
well, that's not the point, because I know that if I focus on one thing, it gets incredibly good, incredibly fast. And I just could not get the time to focus on rebuilding the course, building the platform that it goes with. I also want to write a book. So a book I call 10x Move. It's like, what's the thing that's going to 10x your business? I was like, well, if you look traditionally at where I am in terms of like influencer level, right? The people above me all have one thing in common. They wrote a book, and that book was the thing that projected them to the next level. So I was like, well, I've written 3 million words, got a ton of stories, a ton of case studies. I've got all the stuff I feel like I need to write a decent book.
Nice.
So I'll do something slightly more mass market-y, and then drive them to the YouTube thing, and then just keep working on the content and the platform because it's fun. But that's it, really.
Well, it's amazing how quickly these things are getting better too, because eventually you're not going to need to small chunk everything. Eventually, and when I say eventually, who knows? Everyone's got their crazy ideas about how fast things are changing, but like, it's probably not going to be long before it's one step.
Yeah. A year ago, maybe like 15 months ago, I put one AI bot in my Discord to help people do intro feedback. So they'd have a little chat room in it and they talk to it. And now there's a whole giant platform they're using with multiple bots and projects in, and
1 year
thumbnail feed. Yeah, a year. So I literally could not have, if I go back in time and told myself you're going to build this in a year, I think I would have dropped dead. I'd have looked at it and gone, what that? Because I paid someone to build what I have. I gave someone $10,000 to build the basic version, and then I rebuilt it in a weekend. It's better.
Wow.
So that's the way I'm looking at it. It's like, I want to make a really good product. I don't want to just get people signing up to give me their money, which I think is the biggest problem with a lot of the space. I want to make something really good that's so good people are like, I can't live without this thing. And then I want to basically teach people how to do the same thing. It's like, if I can master this new type of education platform.
I see what you're saying.
And then I've got the skills for selling it. I now have a completely unique take on, I now can teach you how to build software and content. Then to me, that's quite an exciting business where, because the thing I hate about everything online is everyone's chasing, how do I make more money? But I didn't do that. I chased, how do I make my product better? if I get more results, I put those results into my content. I tell stories about my client wins.
Mhm.
I don't ever say, click my link to buy my thing. And every video has a win or two and a story. So it's like every story I got, they paid me $10,000. But that one story, that one screenshot of them saying, I just had this amazing launch, that's going to make me 100K. So I just focus on the product. So I kind of want to teach
Your
people,
flywheel.
look, make the product good. Your marketing you won't be sitting there going, I need more clients. You'll have people knocking on the door going, how do I get in? But no one's teaching anyone how to educate, how to structure course content, how to try and like reduce overwhelm, and then how to build systems and frameworks within their courses so that it becomes like unique IP that's actually useful. Everyone's teaching them, oh, this is how you build a funnel to drive more people to your crap. So I thought I need to do it for myself, but I think I can come up with something unique in the space that changes a lot of lives. Is actually good. And I'd like to change the way people think from make as much money to have as much impact, and then you'll just make more money as the back end.
I think a lot of people actually are not confident that they can even deliver a product that could get a lot of reviews. So they're like, just show me how to make the money fast. I'm not going to do this flywheel reviews because I can't get enough people that really would vouch for me. I think there's a lot of that.
Someone joked once, you only need to make the first video in a course good because no one watches past that anyway. So like, just put the effort into the beginning and then you don't need the rest. And there is an element of truth. But again, I thought about that and I was like, are we just accepting that? What if I could try and fix that? So I've started to build in gamification into this platform. So for example, when you plan a video, the timer starts. It's like you've got 15 minutes to plan the first step.
Oh, yeah.
So because people overthink, but once you have a bit of, if you want to get into flow state, the best way to do it is with stakes. There's a little timer ticking down. It's like, oh,
that's a
stay
great
focused,
idea,
right?
Yeah.
I'm trying
and you
to
could imply how much it should take because you know that because you have the data.
Yeah.
You should take 15 minutes. If you're taking longer, it's probably not helpful.
And that is one of the biggest things. People get stuck, they overthink, and it's not, when you simplify making content down, it's not actually, you shouldn't really get overwhelmed. It's very simple. Write 4 things you want to talk about, 4 stories, and then connect the dots, right? It's not actually that hard, but when you pile all this different learning on at the same time, and then you've got all the information people have learned previously about YouTube, which isn't correct, getting in the way. So I have to like teach people to forget what they've been told.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say, oh, this person told me to do this. Like you said at the start, high ticket. Oh, no, low ticket. Oh, group. And I'm telling them one thing, and then they say, well, someone else told me this. So, well, just pick one. It doesn't matter. Just pick one flipping thing and do it. So people, they learn online. They watch YouTube videos. They learn stuff in random orders. Then they buy a course. You give them structure, and you've got to undo all the noise. Because they've usually learned things that are 5 steps ahead of what they should have been watching anyway. And they only click on stuff that interests them. You give them all the stuff where they're like, I hate this. And it's like, well, that's the nature of the beast. You got to do it.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. I didn't